As the world watches and waits for any real progress on a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, there's one name that suddenly everyone is talking about: Steve Witkoff. He was first introduced as Donald Trump's Middle East envoy right after the election, but somewhere along the way, he became the man trusted to negotiate directly with Moscow.
That's a big, big deal.
That alone would put anyone under a blinding spotlight. But what about the life he doesn't show the cameras? Well, behind all the diplomatic chaos, the Witkoff family has actually built a quiet but powerful presence across finance, tech, and real estate. And it all starts with Steve's ex-wife, Lauren Jill Rappaport. Even though both Steve and Lauren have always been extremely private, reports suggest the couple separated in 2024, keeping their personal lives largely out of the public eye. Still, Lauren played a hugely important role in his life and was a steady presence behind the scenes throughout their years together. They married back in 1987, long before politics and high-stakes diplomacy entered their world. Lauren is brilliant in her own right. Magna cum laude from the University of Rochester, Phi Beta Kappa, and a JD from George Washington University. Yet despite all that, she stayed completely out of the public eye. No interviews, no headlines, nothing. She's basically the definition of low-key, even though her husband is everywhere right now. The couple had 3 sons, and here's where the story turns painfully personal. Their eldest, Andrew Witkoff, tragically died in 2011 at just 22 after taking a high dose of a substance that had been smuggled into his rehab center.
When I lost my boy Andrew, the pain was unbearable.
The tragedy shook the entire family, and they later sued the facility for wrongful death. Even now, more than a decade later, Steve still talks about Andrew with raw emotion.
My boy was the best of us. Where we lived in New York City, a Trump building, 502 Park Avenue, there were 12 homeless people who stayed outside by the church next to the property. My son got to know them all. He fed them every evening.
Just recently, as the United States announced the return of the final Hamas hostages after Trump's latest negotiating push, Witkoff posted an emotional message on X. He celebrated the achievement, but also opened up about his late son, writing, "But even in this moment of relief and happiness, my heart aches for those whose loved ones will not return alive. Bringing their bodies home is a must, and an act of dignity, and honors their memory forever. I can't help but feel the presence of my son Andrew at this moment." It was one of those rare, unfiltered glimpses from someone usually so controlled in public. Meanwhile, Steve and Lauren's other sons have gone on to shape their own corners of the business world. Alex Witkoff, born around 1992, is basically the heir to the family's real estate empire. He now runs the Witkoff Group and has already been tied to major developments like the Brook in Brooklyn and the Belgrove in Palm Beach. But he's also found himself in controversy after reports claimed he approached Middle Eastern investors, including Qatar's sovereign wealth fund, to raise billions for a new U.S. real estate credit fund. The plan was shelved, but the timing definitely raised eyebrows, especially considering his father's diplomatic role. Then there's Zach Witkoff, born in 1993, who dove headfirst into the world of crypto. He co-founded World Liberty Financial alongside members of the Trump family, and today the company is at the heart of a fast-growing digital finance network, connected to tokens like WLFI and USD1.
First off, we have, a very diverse team of co-founders that includes myself, Eric Trump, Don Trump Jr., and Barron Trump, who come from this, what I'll call a traditional TradFi background.
If Alex is continuing the real estate legacy, Zach is trying to rebuild it for the blockchain era. In some ways, it's a bit like Donald Trump's eldest sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, who've also followed their father into business. Donald Jr. in particular is not just the eldest. He's also one of his father's most outspoken supporters. But their relationship hasn't always been easy. In fact, their relationship was rocky for years. It all started when Trump Jr. was just 12. His parents, Donald and Ivana Trump, were going through a highly publicized divorce, complete with tabloid headlines like "Best Sex I've Ever Had" splashed across the front pages. Yeah, imagine being a kid and seeing that while riding to school. No wonder Trump Jr. didn't speak to his dad for a whole year. According to a 2004 New York Magazine profile, he blamed the breakup on his father, who had been having an affair with Marla Maples.
It was just so clear, and the trust was broken so badly that I knew that it was just no way it could be patched.
Later, though, Trump Jr. admitted he might have been influenced by his mom's side of the story.
It was a tough thing that he was going through.
And Ivana didn't mince words. He needed a father figure, she said, adding that Donald was rarely around. They had to go to his office just to say hello before school. So when the kids turned 21, she told him, "Here's the finished product." It was her way of saying, "I raised them. Now, it's your turn." After the divorce, Donald Jr. and his younger brother Eric were sent off to boarding school in Pennsylvania, far from the chaos of New York society. There, Don Jr. found a bit of peace and took up skeet shooting, something his father probably wouldn't have touched unless it came with gold trim. "When I went to boarding school, all those inconveniences just went away," he said at the time. Translation? He finally got a break from the Trump spotlight.
It's going to take a long time to recover.
But the real father figure in Don Jr.'s early life wasn't Donald. It was his maternal grandfather, Milos Zelnicek. During summers in the Czech countryside, Grandpa Milos taught him how to camp, hunt, fish, and even speak Czech, a far cry from Fifth Avenue. By the time college rolled around, Trump Jr. was following in his dad's footsteps at Wharton. But let's just say his college reputation wasn't all business suits and board meetings. According to classmates, he partied hard and was known for drunken brawls and dramatic stunts. One former classmate even claimed that Trump Sr. once slapped Don Jr. in front of his dorm mates for not dressing up properly for a Yankees game.
People think of me as not necessarily nice.
That story was later denied by the Trump family, but do we believe them? You decide. After college, instead of joining the family business right away, Don Jr. took off to Aspen, Colorado. He lived out of a truck, bartended, and soaked in the great outdoors. Sounds like he needed a serious break from all things Trump. During this phase, he barely spoke to his father at all. In fact, he got arrested during Mardi Gras in New Orleans for public drunkenness and spent nearly half a day in jail.
Don't drink. Don't drink.
Eventually, he left the mountains behind and joined the Trump Organization.
Well, real estate is real estate, right?
His first big assignment was Trump Park Avenue. But even then, father and son didn't always see eye to eye. Don Jr. wanted more modern designs, but Trump Sr. insisted on, you guessed it, gold doorknobs. At one point, Jr. even joked about putting Trump Jr. on the building. His father said no surprise there. Despite all the drama, over the years they managed to patch things up. These days, Don Jr. is his dad's ride-or-die supporter. From rallies to rants, he's been front and center in the MAGA movement. And he's not shy about hinting at his own political future either. At the Qatar Economic Forum, he was asked if he'd ever consider stepping into his dad's shoes as the next leader of the movement.
Well, it's an honor to be asked and an honor to see that some people are okay with it.
Those are just our friends.
Yeah,
in the front
that's
row,
probably
by the
just
way,
a couple people
it's like
we know.
The team.
Those are the
three
tickets
people
we got.
yeah, that's it. Right.
You never know.